Maido! Hi there, Japan fans. Today's show, we're going to talk about being opinionated. Present, Master Shimasho. This is the 7th year of the Presentation Japan Series podcast. We are beaming around the world to you from sunny Minato-ku in Tokyo. And I'm your host, Dr. Greg Story, Dale Carnegie Tokyo franchise owner, the president of Dale Carnegie Tokyo Training, and the 3-time best-selling author of Japan Sales Mastery, which is Zaegyo in Japanese, Japan Business Mastery, and Japan Presentations Mastery, plus Stop Wasting Money on Training, which in Japanese is Training de Okane o Muda ni suru wa yamimashou, and all are available on Amazon. Through this podcast, I want to help you to become a better speaker, to be 1, clear, 2, confident, 3, persuasive, and 4, highly influential with those around you. Don't forget to subscribe and share this podcast with your family, friends, and colleagues. We are not being sponsored by Libsyn, but we value your privacy, which is why we have our podcast hosted by Libsyn. Unlike many other hosting organizations, Libsyn have a strict policy that does not allow access to your private information by anyone. Here is our daily podcast lineup on Apple Podcasts. Mondays, the Cutting Edge Japan Business Show podcast. Tuesday, the Presentations Japan series, and every second Tuesday, the Business Tatsujin no Oshie show. Wednesdays, the Sales Japan series. Thursdays, the Leadership Japan series, and every second Thursday, the Business Pro Podcasto show. Fridays, the Japan Business Mastery Show podcast, and Saturdays, Japan's top business interviews. Now, this is episode number 357. Today, talking about how opinionated should the presenter be. There are facts, provable information, data, research results, and opinions. What is the right mix when presenting? Should we just marshal the detail, lay it out for the audience, and let them draw their own conclusions, or do we need to direct them? How expert do we have to be to start handing out advice to others? Are we seeding the emergence of opposition to what we are talking about because members of the audience don't want some speaker lecturing to them? Are we setting ourselves up for a very hot Q&A session where some of the assembled masses are going to tear shreds off us? These types of questions are difficult for those of us in industries where we have points of view and are recommending certain actions on the part of the audience. The training industry is a hot crucible for advice and recommendations for others. We are suggesting things which we believe will help them do better in their companies. Or it could be that through your own firm's experiences, you've observed some things to be careful of, and you're going to enlighten the audience so that they won't repeat the mistakes you made. There is certainly a demand for case studies, warnings, examples, and the sharing of experiences in order to guide audiences about where the dangers are and the traps are set. Just stating our opinion, though, won't cut it. We have to set that up with some evidence, something relatable for the audience, so that they feel what we are saying is credible. The best options are personal experiences. These always have the most credence and authenticity. The second best is the experience of others, and the last is published public information. In Japan, any time you are tempted to use data to prove a point, you need to have the Japanese version too. If it is only information collected in the US or in Europe, then Japanese audience members will just discount it, because as far as they are concerned, Japan is always different and the data won't travel well. Often, though, we start out with some data and we even raid previous presentations for slides brimming with graphs and diagrams to use for the next presentation. That data is too valuable to just leave for one presentation, so we want to recycle it. Or we might have some recent survey data which will be fresh for the audience and we want to impress them. One of the dangers is we get stuck at the data provision level and we don't relate this to the realities of the audience members. Data by itself is good, but what does it mean for me is always in the minds of the audience. This is where we get into the advice business, and we have to tread warily. We have to remain the expert without becoming the school teacher, bossing the audience members around and telling them how to fly straight. Extrapolating what the data shows is a good idea, but there is an element of prophecy built in, and basically that is just our opinion. Instead of getting sucked into the listen to me now business, we can approach it from another way. Find out more. We come back from the break. Today's show is brought to you by our public courses, but we also are doing custom in-house programs. We do them in both Japanese and English. We do them in our super safe classroom and live online. Our show today is being brought to you on the 6th of September by our Dalkani course. That's our flagship program. That's the 12-week version. On the 7th, we'll be running a 3-day version. On the 14th, we'll be running an English version of the Dalkani course. Go to our website at www.dale-carnegie.co.jp. Lots and lots of value there for you. To do better in Japan, email me at greg.story@dalecarnegie.com. If you like learning by watching videos, then we have nearly 2,000 there for you on Tokyo, Japan, Dale Carnegie TV on YouTube. We release 3 TV shows every week on YouTube. The Cutting Edge Japan Business Show, that's the premier business show on Japan, every Monday, Tokyo time. Fridays, we have the Japan Business Mastery Show, and on Saturdays, we release Japan's top business interviews, where I interview leaders from small, medium enterprises all the way up to the corporate captains of industry on one topic, leading in Japan. Every second Thursday, we release the Business Pro TV show. Get my best-selling books on business in Japan, the Bible on selling, Japan Sales Mastery, Zaegyo in Japanese, Japan Business Mastery, Japan Presentations Mastery, plus Stop Wasting Money on Training, which in Japanese is Torein de okane wo muru ni suru wa yamemashou, and all are available on Amazon. Welcome back. Rhetorical questions are brilliant for this. We can lay out the facts or the argument, and instead of moving into the advice component, we can ask the audience what they think without requiring them to vocalize an answer. We frame the construct and let the question hang there unanswered so that the audience has to draw their own conclusions. When we want to add in our point of view, we can do so in a very small target way. Rather than spruiking the answer, we can cloak it in camouflage. We can say, there is a view that, or a common conclusion has been, or a perspective I quite like is, or most experts seem to agree that. In this way, we proffer an answer without having to attach ourselves to it. This reduces the friction with highly opinionated audience members who may want to argue the point with us. We come across as reasonable, balanced, open, flexible, as well as humble. We can say, I will leave it up to everyone to make up their own minds on this one. That is fine, but often we are asked to speak because we supposedly know something about the topic, and this may come across as a cop-out, and audience members may feel cheated. They don't want a lecture from us, but they are interested in what we think, and they want to hear about that. Rhetorical questions and a small target strategy will go a long way towards setting the right frame for the talk. Audiences will vary, of course, but if you don't know what you are facing, then caution is a good policy. You've assembled valuable information, given some guidance, and have respected the audience to be capable of reaching their own interpretation of what it all means while offering your humble insights. That is a killer combo. Did you get value from today's show? If you did, then share the love around with your family, friends, and colleagues. Don't forget to subscribe and share this podcast. Until the next episode, go out there and apply the learnings from today and become a presentations legend amongst your circle. Thank you for joining me, and please tune in next week. Remember, I'm in your corner, committed to your success here in Nippon.